So next topic, we should go for the expression for longitudinal stress. Expression for longitudinal stress. So here consider a thin cylinder thin cylindrical vessel subjected to internal fluid pressure. Okay, the longitudinal stress, the longitudinal stress will be set up in the material of the cylinder. If the bursting force, BURSTING, bursting force of the cylinder takes place along the section. First, I should draw the diagram. So here, so if I'm going to take this is the longitudinal axis, then the force is acting along the longitudinal axis to be considered for the failure. Okay, then the failure bursting force of the cylinder takes place along the section. Okay, so here where the failure is going to take now, it is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis. So if I'm going to consider this is the section AB, along the section AB, the failure is going to happen. Okay, now this is the failure plane, okay, which is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis. Okay, here we can have the cylindrical wall. They have the thickness of T and the length of L, and they have the internal diameter of small d under the pressure of small p. Okay, so if it is like this, then the failure plane is along the cross section, I said. Okay, the stress may be acting here like this. Okay, now so it is perpendicularly, it is going to act. So simply I'm going to say like this. So the stress may be, because of the stress, it is going to act perpendicularly in the cross section. Okay. Now this is diameter D, and the stresses will be called as sigma 2, that is longitudinal stress. The thickness of wall is equal to T. Okay. Now let us move on to the derivation. So here, as usual, that is the resisting force will be equal to, that is the force due to fluid pressure is equal to force due to fluid pressure is equal to resisting force. So for that condition, we are going to choose resisting force. If it is maximum, that is the force due to fluid pressure will be maximum than the resisting force, then definitely the failure will occur. Okay. So first we should go for the force due to fluid pressure. So fluid pressure intensity will be P, and where it is acting, so it is acting here, which is nothing but along the cross section it is going to act. Okay, so it is acting here and along the entire cross section. Okay, now the fluid pressure is acting. So here the area is nothing but pi by 4 d square. Okay, so pressure P into pi by 4 d square. So it becomes P into P by 4 into pi by d square. Okay, next to resisting force. So resisting force due to longitudinal stress. Longitudinal stress. So the longitudinal stress, we are going to take it as a sigma 2. Okay, now, and its area. So where it is acting along the circumference throughout the thickness of wall. Okay, so if I need the length of the circumference, what is the formula I'm going to use? By d. Okay, into thickness of wall. So if I'm going to multiply with thickness of wall, automatically I can get the area of this shaded portion. So I will change the color so that you can understand. So here the stress is going to act. Okay. So this is the area. This area I have to calculate. This area is nothing but pi d into t, thickness. Okay. So sigma 2 into pi dt. So sigma 2 into pi dt. So here, if I'm going to equate these two, pi get cancelled, d 1d is going to cancel. So remaining term p by 4 into d is equal to sigma 2 into t. Therefore, sigma 2 is equal to pressure intensity multiplied with diameter, internal dia of the tin cylinder divided by 4 into thickness of wall in the tin cylinder. So you just compare with sigma 1. So sigma 1, that is hoop stress, longitudinal stress. Sigma 2 is equal to this value. Hoop stress or circumferential stress, sigma 1 is equal to PD divided by 2 times of T. So this is half of the times of our sigma 1 value. Okay. So we are going to say sigma 2 is equal to half times of sigma 1. Okay. So always hoop stress, hoop stress is, so from this sigma 1 is equal to 2 times of sigma 2. Okay. So hoop stress, or we can say hoop stress is 2 times more than the longitudinal stress. In the thin cylinder. Okay. Or else longitudinal stress is half of the value of hoop stress, hoop or circumferential stress in the thin cylinder. Okay, so this is the formula we are going to remember. Next, maximum stress. Next one is maximum stress. So maximum stress, we are going to maximum shear stress. Okay, so we are going to denote it by the value of letter of tau max. Okay, so maximum shear stress, tau max is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 divided by 2. So this is nothing but P into D divided by 2T minus P into D divided by 4T divided by 2. So with respect to taking the LCM, we can have 4T. So 4T into 2. If I'm going to take in the above term, we are going to multiply it with 2PD minus PD. So it becomes PD by 8T. This is the value of maximum shear stress. Okay. Now some constraints we can have, that is nothing but if the thickness of the thin cylinder is to be calculated, then the formula of sigma 1 is equal to PD divided by 2 times of T to be used. Okay. And second one, if the maximum permissible stress in the material is given, then the stress should be taken circumferential stress. Okay, if they have mentioned that the maximum permissible stress, then it should be taken as a sigma 1. Okay, so these are all the two constraints we have to remember while doing the problem. Okay, thank you.